Beautiful and realistic effects with colored pencils are only possible because of layering and gradient transitions. Let me show you how to transition some colors, and then we can create this amazing 3D effect with some acorns and fall leaves. Let's go! For our fall color palette, we're going to need some red, orange, and yellow colored pencils, but we will also need cream and white, burgundy, and black. So on a piece of scrap paper, draw something like this. Just a simple shape. You don't even need a ruler for it. This is only for practice. And we're going to create a gradient transition starting with red. Pick a nice strong red from any colored pencil set and get to something like this. What do you notice? The main thing here is that I'm already trailing off the red. The gradient transition is already there. How am I doing that? I'm doing that with layers and pressure. Notice that I'm just adding stroke after stroke after stroke, sometimes changing up direction, sometimes going in little circles, sometimes crosshatch, as long as you create a smooth sheet of color that's getting lighter towards the bottom. There you go, you've created your first gradient from red to white. But it's not very smooth, is it? So now is your time to bring in either a dark yellow or a light orange. And when bringing in a second color to my gradient, I like to start from roughly this area in the transition. And I'm going to layer my new color rather strongly, trailing it off both upwards and down. But notice that every time that I trail off my gradient into the white of the paper, I am applying less and less pressure, fewer and fewer strokes, so that my color naturally goes into white. Now we can bring in a sunshine yellow, like this canary yellow, and proceed with the same exact step, now going from orange to white. Now with the cream. And don't forget actual white. It's important to always add your gradient that ends in white, not just with the white of the paper, but with an actual white pencil. Why is it important, you may ask? Well, it serves an extra purpose. Not only does it cover our page, creating a smooth texture that is uniform throughout, but it also acts as a blender pencil. You may even come in with that white somewhere in the middle of your gradient to smooth things out. Now that we have a beautiful transition from red to orange to yellow to cream to white, we can come into the top of our gradient pillar and add some darker reds. I like to come in with the burgundy, and if your pencils aren't layering smoothly enough, here's where you can go back and forth. You can bring in that red again, you can even bring your orange again. And if you follow my steps and you don't apply too much pressure, you should have no problem layering forever and ever, really. There's no limit. Once the burgundy is there, if you want to take the shade of your color even higher, always come in with black. I know this step is very scary for everyone, but black is a magical pencil that can create amazing realistic results. And a lot of what I teach in the academy relies very heavily on bringing in that black at the end, just for that tiny touch of realism. Smooth as silk, black to burgundy to red to orange to yellow to cream to white. And you may also want to throw in one other gradient transition in there, practicing your brown and sepia tones. In my flagship course in the Academy, How to Use Colored Pencils Like a Pro, I teach gradients in depth. Shallow gradients and soft gradients, multicolor gradients, single color gradients, how to create them, how to make them 3D, of course, how to create tints and tones and shades of color. So if you haven't gone through that course yet, you're missing out. Now let's play with an actual illustration. Starting with the acorn, I'm layering my mid-tone brown. One thing that you may have noticed on my gradient chart is that I started with my mid-tone. I often get asked, do you start with a darker color first and then add lighter, or lighter colors and then add darker? And there isn't really one rule that's cast in stone, and a lot of it depends on the type of pencils that you're working with. For instance, Castle Art is a brand of pencils that is not friendly for light over dark layering. They're designed for you to start with the lightest imaginable colors and then add the darker ones. It's just how they act on paper. Even their instruction manual tells you to start with lighter and add darker. But I'm working with Prismacolor pencils. These are very high quality wax pencils, and they are designed to go either way. You can layer light over dark, dark over light, anything goes. So because I'm working with Prismacolor pencils, I like to start with my midtone. And with this brown, we'll establish the basic shape of our acorn. But don't forget the texture. These little lines here will greatly help in creating the illusion of a realistic acorn. Now come in with a nice bright, soft orange or a dark yellow and blend that brown into white. This is exactly what we did on the practice sheet, but with brown and yellow or brown and orange. Depending on how bright your orange was, you may want to come in with a lighter yellow, but mine was kind of halfway. It was a dark yellow or a light orange, so I can go straight to cream for this step. Doesn't that already look amazing and so smooth? Now let's bring in a darker brown and enhance that shadow. Make sure not to take the shadow all the way to the edge, otherwise the illusion of 3D will be lost. Notice where I'm placing my shadow on the acorn, and then on the right, we'll have a little bit of a light spill. Tiny details like that are essential for realism. For my secret ingredient, I like to bring in a deep violet into my dark shadow. No one will actually see this color for what it is, but it will be there, and on a very subconscious level, this will once again deliver the illusion of realism just a little bit better. Devil's in the details, I always say, and perfection is something that we all chase as illustrators and colorists. And that's exactly what I teach over in my academy, It's Easy to Draw, including our brand new course, Painting with Pencils, which is perfect for fall. And even though it may look very advanced, trust me, if you can master this technique that I'm showing you in this video, you'll be able to create this masterpiece with my guidance as well. Just like on the gradient practice chart, it's important to come in with pure black to really emphasize those dark shadows and to really up the value level of the shade of brown that we've created. Now for the leaves. Let's color two of them, one bright orange and one bright red. But nothing is as simple as a single sheet of color in realism. Let's use what we learned in the gradient transition practice and apply it now, but not in a single pillar of color, but rather in little patches and pools here and there, because it's a leaf. So starting with my red, I am generously and randomly applying these pools of red. If you're not comfortable freehanding effects like these, I highly recommend that you use reference photography. To make the leaf a little bit more natural and looking like it's starting to wither and die, yet still remaining beautiful, I like to come in with a brown at this stage and actually infuse the red with a touch of brown. It's not gonna come shining through in the end a lot, but again, that tiny subtle detail is what's going to separate your amazing art from anything else out there. Now, just like in the practice exercise, we come in with our orange or dark yellow, smooth everything out, and start building up those gradient transitions all the way to the edges of our leaf, but leaving some areas shaded lighter than others, because now we're coming in with a lighter yellow. If you want, you can even come in with a little bit of green. Not a lot though. We don't want to take away from that fall feeling. And it's the cream pencil that I feel will be doing all the special work here, because it's with this cream that we can actually add the tiny veins to our leaf. And if some of the detail of the illustration got lost in some of this shading and gradient transitions, come in with your burgundy and just brighten everything up a bit, make everything sharp and in focus. You can add a lot of detail and a lot of those extra veins to your leaves at this stage. This leaf is mostly yellow and orange. For the red one, the approach is similar, but we will be using a lot more red and a lot less yellow. So my first layer here is just red, and I do most of my shading with it. And a little bit of the structure work. Notice that I left the veins of this leaf uncolored. If you're really passionate about coloring and you're interested in learning color theory and all of these amazing effects, like how to shade correctly, how to hold your pencil correctly, how to use color combos, and of course to practice on a ton of amazing drawing material that I've created just for you, especially to demonstrate certain effects, make sure to join my academy, It's Easy to Draw. There's a course there for anyone, and the good news is you can join for free. All of my courses have free preview lessons, so you can hang out for as long as you want until you decide if the course is for you or not. All of our courses also have easy payment plans, so you don't have to pay for a course up front. And we even have bundles that make the courses that are included in them heavily discounted. And don't forget to use the super special Thanksgiving coupon code, a link in the description and in the pinned comment. But don't wait too long. This offer will expire the day after Thanksgiving, so you only have a few days left. Even though this leaf is, strictly speaking, red, I am still coming in with my orange for blending. Remember, even if your object is a solid single color, we painted with multiple pencils always. A touch of yellow, and now we can move into our burgundy. And of course, don't forget that final touch of black. If you want to practice on this exact page, I put it up in the Academy as a free gift for everyone in 2 versions. The line version that I used for this demo, and also a grayscale version for those of you who prefer to have your shadows already placed there for you. And now that you know how to create gradient transitions, or at least warm tone gradient transitions for fall coloring, let me ask you something else. Do you know how to pick the right paper color for your project? I bet there's something new that I can teach you about that as well. Check out this video that's popping up on the screen right now, where I test drive the same exact coloring on white paper versus tan. And there you go. Beautiful 3D effects with colored pencils. I hope you give this a shot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.